So I'm Dancan Stanley from Kenya, based in Homa Bay, near the lakeside known as Lake Victoria. I do permaculture and natural farming. It's my project. I'm a permaculture teacher, both practically and online. So I travel across the country to help people grow food. So the reason why I started this project is because I saw the need of people in the community, lack of food, the weak such as orphans and widows. And my main aim is to help them and reach more people as much as possible all over the country. So that's why we decided to teach online so that people can also acquire these skills. And still, as a group, we still have got better things to put in place so that people also, we can teach them practically in my Nature's Promise training center that I would like to build by next year so that people can learn and exchange. So
we're speaking from the same hymn sheet, Duncan, because Learn with Grandma is all about sharing skills. Not just sharing skills across the generations, but older people do have skills and knowledge that they can pass on to the younger generations. And the younger generations can also help the older people with the technology.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, where are you from?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, my name is Musa. I'm from Kenya.
Welcome, Musa. Lovely to see you here. You know that there will be downloadable handouts after the class. Pleasure to meet you. Let's hand over to Mr. Stanley.
Thank you.
Okay, you are welcome, Musa.
Thank you.
I also have friends there in Kakuma.
We are fine.
Yeah, I have also 3 friends in Kakuma. So now you are the 4th friend. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so today we learn about bag growing. And this one was requested by Nicola, as we want to capture also people who have got limited lands and people who live in the cities also. So this is a very good class today. So bag growing. Let us proceed. What is a bag used for planting? So we continue like, growing bags are plastic or fabric bags that are used to grow plants with shallow roots. Note that there are bags that are used to grow plants with shallow roots. So you cannot use plastic bags to grow plants with deep roots. They are ideal for balconies. They are ideal for balconies or small garden where space is a premium, or balconies where space is a premium. Growing bags are also great because they are reusable and put out very little waste. Let us proceed. Grow bag soil. Grow bag soil, originally made of plastic, modern bags, and also made from jute or fabric. The growing medium is usually based on soil-less organic material, such as peat, cob, compost green waste, compost bark, or compost wood chips, or a mix of these. Or a mixture of those. Maybe somebody will ask, how long grow bag will last? Let us proceed. Grow bags are great for gardens of all sizes, both indoors or outdoors. You can start a plant in smaller grow bag. And move it to a bigger, larger grow bag and move it to a bigger, more larger grow bag as the plant reaches maturity. As the plant reaches maturity. Grow bags are predicted to last 7 to 8 seasons. 7 to 8 seasons. But with good care, they can last for much longer. So when you take care of them, they can last for much longer, more than 7 to 8 seasons, I mean. Okay, different types of grow bags. We have got BioBloom's grow bag, different types of grow bags, BioBloom grow bags. You've a green polythene grow bag, you've a green polythene grow bag. Coa Garden hide grow bag, Coa Garden hide grow bag. Coco Garden plastic grow bag, Coco Garden plastic grow bag. Trust basket poly grow bag, Trust basket poly grow bag.
What are you saying? Koya Garden Hope Grow, what grow bag?
Hide.
Okay. My apologies. Thank you so much. Thank you.
The next one, slab polythene grow bag, slab polythene grow bag. So in Coco Garden hype grow bag, the spelling of hype is HDPE, HDPE, HDPE. So that D is silent. Okay. What makes a good grow bag? What makes a good grow bag? The best materials of grow bag is typically a non-woven fabric made from either polypropylene or polyester, polypropylene or polyester. This type of fabric is breathable. This type of fabric is breathable, allowing for proper air circulation, which is crucial for healthy root growth, It also provides excellent drainage. Which helps to prevent overwatering and root rot. So that is what makes a good type of growing bag. Let's proceed. Germination bag. We also have germination bag. So, like as farmers, we all want a jump start on the growing season, and there are few better ways than germinating seeds in a bag. Seeds in plastic bags are in mini greenhouse, which keeps them moist and warm to spread sprouting. Difference between grow bags and compost. If you are making your own grow bags, it is important, note this, if you are making your own grow bags, it is important to note that your grow bag compost may tend to hold water better and have more nutrients. Will tend to have to hold water better and have more nutrients added as compared to a general multi-purpose compost. So somebody may ask you, can you grow carrots in a grow bag? And this is the answer. Because carrots are slender plants, you can also pack quite a few, not quiet, quite a few in a single pot. In a single pot. A 10-gallon grow bag is around 16 inches. It's around 16 inches across and can hold 24 to 36 carrots depending on the variety. 24 to 36 carrots depending on the variety. The next step, what is the best mix for grow bags? What is the best mix for grow bags? The best soil for grow bag is a combination of compost, vermiculite, coconut coir, or peat moss. Coconut coir or peat moss. How many plants to put in a grow bag? Somebody may ask, how many plants can you put in a grow bag? Two or three plants can be planted in each grow bag. 2 or 3 plants can be planted in each grow bag. You can add a water-saving plant collar if you want to create a deeper planting area and develop water straight. And no, it's not develop but deliver. Sorry for that. It's not develop but deliver. I'm sorry for that. You can add a water-saving plant collar if you want to create a deeper planting area and deliver water straight to the roots. Then somebody might come up and ask, will roots grow through the grow bags? Will roots grow through the grow bags? And this is what I can tell. We find species like elms, hawthorns, hornbeams, and cetrids perfectly penetrate the fabric. This restricts larger roots from growing outside. The bag and forces more root balancing inside, all of which are perfect root response for future successful transplanting. The ideal is root ball. Are we together?
Yeah, we are together.
Okay.
Yes, excellent. Thank you so much. Yes. All good.
Okay. So another person can ask, can you grow cabbage in a grow bag? Can you grow a cabbage in a grow bag? And this is what I can explain. While cabbages do best in the ground, you can also plant them in a large, deep containers. Filled with multi-purpose compost. Choose compact varieties and plant them in a similar way to planting in the ground. Choose compact varieties and plant them in a similar way to planting in the ground, with up to 3 in 50 centimeters, in bracket 20 in bracket 20 in the pot. Cabbages aren't suitable for growing bags. Cabbages, although that is the idea, but they are not suitable for growing bags. Okay. Can you grow onions in a grow bag? Can you grow onions in a grow bag? Onions, like potatoes, are an underground crop and can grow well in grow bags. They can do well in the grow bags. Onions can do well in the grow bags. So to mean people who have got balconies, instead of going and buying onions, why don't you grow them in the grow bags in the balconies? You just fill them with soil and you grow onions. So that is the idea. And Nicole, you have to try that in your balcony. Plant onion bulbs with the root side down. This is how to do it. Plant onion bulbs with the root side down and cover with just enough soil to allow the top to peek out. Another step. Are grow bags good for tomatoes? 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 Short on space, using grow bags makes tomato growing possible in tight spaces like a deck, patio, porch, or driveway. And tomatoes can really do well in grow bags because most of the tomatoes don't need like excess water. So if you want to grow tomatoes, you can't do it during rainy season because they will be easily attacked by blight and they will rot when they form the bulbs. So if you want to do the best way, you can grow best tomatoes in summer, or you can grow onions in a greenhouse where temperature is moderate, so, or in the grow bags. Okay, so let us proceed. Should you put holes in a grow bag? Should you put holes in a grow bag? If any case you make your own grow bag, should you put holes in a grow bag? Take a pencil or a pen or similar sharp object and a spoke and poke some holes where you can along the left and right sides of the grow bag, which help to prevent waterlogging. So the holes in the grow bags helps in preventing waterlogging in the grow bag. So there's also a question, maybe somebody will ask, can you overwater a grow bag? No, it is a pretty much impossible to overwater a grow bag. The air circulation on all sides of the plant roots means they can access to oxygen. The air circulation on all sides of the plant roots means they can access to oxygen, and that any excess water can quickly drain and evaporate away. Can quickly drain and evaporate away. How are bag liters calculated? How can you calculate bag liters? How can you calculate bag liters? There is very simple way and easy way. There's very simple and easy way to determine the capacity of backpack in liters.
Yeah.
To do this, measure the linear dimensions. Measure the linear dimensions. The height, comma, the height, comma, width, and depth of the backpack. And depth of the backpack. Then multiply these three values. Then you multiply these three values. To multiply these three values. So that is how you do it. You measure the linear dimensions, the height, width, and the depth of the backpack. Multiply this values. Then multiply these three values together. Okay. Which color is best for grow bags? Somebody may ask. You cannot just take any color randomly and you say, oh, I want to make a grow bag out of this. That one can't happen. Black is the easier color to come by. Black is the easier color to come by. But there are other options. Some that blend in well with the garden, and others bright green or blue, and others bright green or blue, and others bright green. So the main concern with the colored bags, is how much light they allow through. So you see, like you people know, black color absorbs light, like it attracts light, but white color reflects light, so that will not be suitable. White color reflects light, while black color absorbs light. So a white color is not suitable for growing bags. You understand this? Because it reflects light away from the bag, but black color absorbs the light. That's why it's preferred to for you to use the black growing bags. That is the best option so far. But other options are green or blue. But it should be bright green, not just green, bright green or blue. Okay. What is the life of growing bags? What is the life of grow bags? If used without transplanting grow bags, can last. It can last up to 3 to 5 years or more. It can last 3 to 5 years or more, depending on the material quality, depending on the material quality. Yes, so it can last from 3 to 5 years, but depending on the material quality. So it means if the quality is low, it can't last up to 3 to 5 years. You understand? Are we together or are we?
Yeah, we are together. We are together. We are just following the instruction. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yes, thank you
Wawik
very
has just
much.
joined, so I was asking him when.
That's very helpful.
Yeah,
It's very
I'm very
specific,
sorry.
Duncan. Very helpful.
Yeah, I'm very sorry. I just informed Wawik that we have the class and just in 2 minutes. So he has done well. He has really tried to join us. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I'm confused by all the electronic medium platforms and everything. It took me all that time to find out what to do.
You're doing well.
Yeah, you are doing well. As you can see nowadays he can join and yeah, so it's really nice. It's a good platform.
Thanks.
Okay, let us proceed. How long does soil last in a bag? How long does soil last in a bag? We proceed. Open bags of new potting soil. Open bags of new potting soil can retain quality for around 6 to 12 months. So it can retain quality for around 6 to 12 months. So those ones are the open ones. So still they can retain their quality from 6 to 12 months. So let us see the ones which are unopened. How long can they last if still you the unopened ones? So for unopened and unused potting soil, can store it for about a year or two before it goes bad. Can store it for about a year or two before it goes bad. Yeah. So today this topic about grow bags. Yes.
So when soil goes bad, does that mean that the organic elements of the soil, okay, have started to rot? Is that what's happening? Okay.
Yeah.
So there's no aerobic element that's coming into that to assist it. So it's literally just rotted and it's become like a mold and rot.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Thank you. I just wanted to understand. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So this topic of growing bags is really useful for people, for most of the people. Like you see in the world of today, many people are not having land, but still you can have your food. By using these bags. So it was a very nice topic that Nicola brought for me. And I told her I will have to teach about growing bags.
Thank you, Duncan. It's just that I know that people get so interested in this issue, and particularly, for example, here in London, people just don't have space. A lot of people don't have gardens, okay? But they might have a shared area or they might have a balcony. And I think it's that whole thing of like people getting the opportunity just to grow a little bit, All right. Okay. Yeah. Obviously with bags, so some people can really grow a lot from bags, but I think it's about giving people the opportunity wherever they are to do some growing. You know, it's a beautiful way to get started and to experiment, I think. And your guidance has been very, very specific. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Always.
Yeah, I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can get you.
Yes, as I told you before that I'm here in Kakuma refugee camp. I'm working with a non-profit organization. We're also based on food security. So I have more information about permaculture. And I'm really so excited to meet you guys today for this session. Now I have some skills I gained today because I get this link through Jesse from Australia. And I have come to know that how we pointed this session at. My dear brother, I have a simple question here concerning the way you guide us and the information you provide to us about on how to grow in back. Maybe
So,
you know.
excuse me a little bit. Let me
Okay.
just finish the topic. Then from there we can have the questions. Okay.
Oh, that's fine. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay. So let us proceed. What can you use instead of grow bags? This is the last and the least. What can you use instead of grow bags? So we have got 9 alternatives fabric grow bags for your garden. 9 alternative fabrics grow bags for your garden. The first one. Excuse me, Sony Bireke. Sony Bireke, please mute so that we don't get the noise from you. Sony Bireke. Okay, good. Thank you. So we have got 9 alternative to fabric grow bags for your garden. You can use reusable shopping bags, reusable shopping bags, reusable shopping bags, IKEA reusable bags, IKEA reusable bags. Use an empty rice bag from the market. Use an empty rice bag from the market. Dog food bags. Dog food bags. Use an old pillowcase. Don't just lie on the pillow, but you can use an old pillowcase. Denim jeans or shorts. Don't just buy your shorts and jeans. You can use them to grow. Denim jeans or shorts.
Underpants. No.
Your underpant garden. It's an underpant garden.
Yes. Balap bags. Balap bags. Balap bags. Potting soil bag. Potting soil bag. Alternative to fabric grow bags for your garden, Raxley. Alternative to fabric grow bags for your garden, Raxley. So this topic of the grow bags, that is the end of the grow bags, and that is what I had for today. And at least we can have the skills to the people who don't have lands, you know, people who live in the cities. Don't just live in the city and you wait to buy every food in the market. Me, I can't. Even if I live in the city, I grow my own food. I'm addicted to farming.
Dancan, you know the power of farming. You've had serious years worth of experience of the power of the land and what you can do with that. You have, very serious experience, and the whole bag growing thing is to allow people a taste of what that is, because as we've discussed, Duncan, and as we've discussed in the group before, organic permaculture and organic farming, etc., is not just a personal, community, local solution. It's also a national solution. And in the context of syntropic agroforestry, it's actually a global solution. So every single time we get an opportunity for more people to do growing like this and to learn this type of growing, we're supporting what I call a permanent earth solution, where we are actually respecting nature. And when we respect nature, we are protected by nature. There's my little speech. You've heard it before.
Yeah.
Good.
I just thought I'd do it again. Sorry, Sunny had questions.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, Musa.
Yes. So I have a simple question based on the session we had.
Yeah.
Especially, I hope that when we add water in grow back, just in a way that we are saving our plant color, and especially when we are looking forward in a way to create a deeper planting area to deliver water straight to the root. I hope it's more important sometimes to water in order at least to don't get dry. So my question is, it's all based on how we do believe in diversity of crops when planting, especially for production at home. How many plants can we supposed to put in one grow bag?
In one grow bag, I think if you are really keen, there is where I discussed it. If you are really keen, you can know it. If you go through the notes, you will know how many plants can you grow in a bag. So always be keen when I teach. So that is now a duty I'm giving you. You will check up how many plants can you grow in a bag.
Challenge.
Yes. It was, I think, almost the last phase of where I was teaching. So I'll just answer it. 2 or 3 plants you can grow in a bag.
Duncan, you're getting strict.
Yes. The Duncan rule.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's
Anytime.
always, So also, like, I'm not strict, but I'm trying to say that when you are when you are in a class, you have to be keen, because almost that
Yes,
was the
I know that.
yeah.
I'm
So
sorry.
next time,
I know that Mr. Dan, can you understand sometimes due to poor connection?
okay.
Sometimes you may start somewhere. This is what you need to understand, because maybe the location where you're located, maybe the strengths of your network you are using just not the same, especially according to the location each and everyone is located. I think you got it. Yeah.
Oh, I understand it, brother. Nice.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
That's why I have to now answer it. Though I just said, I didn't mean that I will not answer.
It's okay. So I got it. Don't worry. I understand.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for your question.
Can I say?
Okay. Unmute, and I'm seeing your hands are up. All of your 5 fingers are up.
Warwick, you mean?
Yes. Hello?
Yes.
Yes, please. Yes. I came late, and I would like to introduce myself first of all.
That's good of you. Come on, just cut you off.
My name is Soni Bireke. I'm a refugee living in Nakivale refugee camp in Uganda. I'm a permaculture educator and a farmer. So I was interested on this course after seeing the poster, and I realized so that I can also learn something new. for sure I'm a bit late, but I would like, I don't know if this lesson is recorded so that I can also access on it after, because I missed out some lot of things.
Yeah. Okay. You missed, but you will not miss because the handouts will be out and all what have been taught will be delivered out in my YouTube channel, and I will share them in my Facebook page and also in my YouTube page, and also
Thank
in our, we have got a WhatsApp group, Sony Bereke, for your information, where we share ideas as a team and we learn together, because no human being is 100%, and we learn from each other. You might know something that I didn't know. You understand this?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just
You
to
are
say as
always
well,
welcome. So you are free. You are free to join our WhatsApp group. Only if you are interested.
Pleasure.
Only if you are interested.
Okay.
Otherwise, which channel?
Hello,
Duncan.
Christina.
Hello, Christina. Sonny, I just wanted to answer just a quickly little bit more. I'm Duncan's digital farmer. I'm Duncan's assistant. Okay. All right. And just to say, Sonny, the entire course, this is actually session 7. There are actually 6 sessions prior to this for the Dancan Stanely Farming teaching course. Those, Duncan, you see, I'm selling your program for you, or as your assistant. Okay. All right, mister. All right, okay. And all of the previous classes are there, Sonny, on YouTube with all of the handouts. You just go to the description box below the video, you click on the link, and you'll be able to get the handouts literally onto your phone, okay? Duncan and I are also working to create a full course test and a self-certifying certificate. We're also going to be creating a workbook so that actually anybody, whether or not they have a phone, will be able to access the course contents as we move step by step. Sorry, Duncan, I was just explaining that all of your teaching will be all available to all in all formats that is useful for them. Okay. And it is all there, Sonny. If you want to contact Duncan, I'm Duncan's personal assistant. Hello. If you want to contact Duncan, all you do is just message Duncan on Facebook and he will get your details and add you to the WhatsApp group, Sonny and Musa, if you aren't already in the WhatsApp group, so we can deal directly with queries and so on, and updates and class invites as well. Okay. All there. All right. Thank you.
Okay. That's so wonderful. Christina, you can say hi to people.
Hi.
Hello, Christina. Oh, left,
Hi,
right
everyone.
hand.
Hello, Christina. Good to see you.
Good to see you all.
Thank you. Long time. It has been a long time since we met, but we have made it today.
I will stay for a little. I have to go to work.
Okay, it's okay. Thank you so much. So I have been traveling, and I have been having a busy days, like a busy month. I was in Kisii. I moved from Kisii. I grow food there, and now people there have got food. I went to Nairobi. I went to do urban permaculture. I did it for a friend of mine living in Nairobi in a certain location known as Ngong in Karen. The food is there, evidence is there, they are happy. I also went to a school. We also prepared a garden there, of which I will be traveling back to that school next month to grow food there. Also, just this month also, I was in Mombasa in Kilifi, where I was helping in making Adobe brick, where they wanted to build a training center. I also helped there. The same place also I grew food. So I've been traveling, and also back In March also, I was in Kisumu, and the remaining months, I was helping people in my village. So that's how I've been doing. And so on, I will travel all over the country, and also to the western side, if possible, and to the people, good news to the people in Uganda. I will be there maybe next year.
And the great news is that as Dancan goes to different farms and different situations and different problems, is that different problems get solved and recorded on video. Dancan and his trusty tripod, or if he needs a human tripod, he finds a human tripod. Dancan and his trusty tripod will be traveling around solving problems. And what I've already seen from Dancan's work in different areas is sometimes what can happen. Of course, I'm not a farmer. I'm a digital farmer and Dancan's assistant. But sometimes from what I can see, sometimes just one or two minor adjustments like mulching for the water saving, for the protection of a nursery bed, the proper recycling, not wasting the grasses to use for mulching, those little changes, all right, in terms of your perception, a farmer's perception, all right, can make an absolutely massive difference. All right. And the removing of those pesticides and fertilizers, as Dancan saw when you were in Kisi with Joseph, made a massive difference as well. Dancan, because I'm not a farmer myself directly, because I'm learning and I'm an educator, sometimes when Dancan tells me things, it's such a big learning curve for me. And because this is normally why my world, I get so amazed that recently Dancan told me a story from Nairobi at the school, is that they had some old seeds and they had some organic seeds on the one hand, some untreated organic seeds, and then they had hybrid seeds on the other. And those seeds had not been touched for a while. And the ones that were organic, untouched, unmessed with, were the ones that grew and were still strong. It totally amazed me. Those were the ones that were still strong. The ones that were hybrid ones and had been messed with, those were the weak ones, and you couldn't grow with them even after they'd been left for a while. And just little things like that, from my learning point of view, just absolutely amazed me. There you go. I just wanted to say that. Absolutely amazing.
That's right, and I would argue that you also need to be friends with people in similar environments. Look whether, like Dancan's just mentioned, all the places he has been, whether there's more water, where it's more moist in one area, drier in another area, and that can affect everything you do. And maybe in a refugee camp, I was looking at one that for Somalian refugees in Kenya. And you could easily see from Google Maps that it was in a very dry place. So growing tomatoes in bags or whatever might be a little different there than, say, in a city. In London, maybe a black bag will help keep the plant warm when it attracts sunlight. But in a very hot place, a black plastic bag, which is good for the plastic, usually UV protected plastic is black, but it may cook the roots, just attract too much, sun, the heat of the sun. You can always place things correctly on balconies to get the morning sun, not the afternoon sun. But these are all balances that you must work out and become very familiar with similar environments. They may be in another part of the world, but are similar conditions that are around you, at least three.
Yes, that's really interesting. So, yeah. Sorry, carry on.
And I was going to say, in Australia, many people have used styrofoam boxes, these foam boxes that are everywhere. Styrofoam is such a problem to get rid of that rubbish tips won't accept them. I don't know where they go.
Yeah.
But they're very good for growing vegetables. They're free everywhere. There's one question that the styrofoam breaks down, and there's some question about the chemicals, which I don't know how carcinogenic or how harmful they are, can come into the soil or into the plant. And I don't think the science is done. I've had some permaculture people say, I'd never used them. They said I had 2 friends who use them and they each have cancer, and then somebody else says, that's rubbish. So I just do not know. Sometimes it's true in this modern world that a chemical may be carcinogenic, but at what level? And there's another degree that we live in a plastic world now, and to some degree you must use it when it's appropriate. You try to avoid it as much as possible, but it's sometimes available. Plastic boxes, plastic containers, they're everywhere to grow things in.
I mean, the whole point is, do we want plastic as waste, or do we want to reuse our plastic? Do you know what I'm saying? Okay. And I would always err on the side of reusing it. And of course, then we have that contaminant element. But do you know what I'm saying? And then you have to just be judicious, I think. I don't think there's an easy answer,
And I think I've gathered in some way that PET is safer. The so-called drink bottle and the oil bottles. I've noticed many people in Asia use the larger PET bottles. You often buy oil, 2 litres, 3 litres, and cut out the top. And they seem fairly strong. And from what I've observed over years, they don't break down so much in the sun as, say, what we call a milk jug, 2 litre or 3 litre. And they're not so bad, but some plastics break down very easily and create a problem for you. Yeah. So, it depends which plastics you choose. And then there's another science, which plastic, what is the container you have in your hand? What is it made from? Some of my friends know all the poly this and the poly that.
Yeah.
And they can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and a refugee camp, when we mention it's really anything you can if you're desperate to grow food.
I agree.
And then I mentioned, as I say, refugee camps are usually in marginal land. They don't put refugee camps in luxury suburbs in cities. And, it's usually a very dry place. And water. Too much water can kill something. Not enough water can kill something. And the drainage system, where to put the holes in the container, maybe a little higher than the base to keep some residual water, maybe the answer, if they need to be well drained.
There will be infinite variables. The hope is that people in their own local conditions will make judicious choices from their own growing experience, and that those in areas like refugee camps where I'm speaking for you, Musa, and this is not appropriate because I'm sure you have your own answers to this, is that you will be very familiar with your own growing conditions in the first place and looking for more adaptive solutions as they come along for greater efficiency, greater yield, greater water conservation, more resilient crops and so on,
Yeah, local. See what used to grow there or what.
Totally.
Particular conditions used to grow there. And yes, I feel that, it's always, but I felt when Musa, you spoke, that when you get funding, you like to see something at least partly successful. If the whole thing fails first time round, it doesn't look good, so you like to get at least as much as possible together. But yeah, and how many grow in a pot? As many as you can fit, and they grow well. I mean, sometimes crowding can mean that the fruit is all small or they're competing with one another. But I did hear once, and I don't know this rule, that plants compete for light, not so much for soil or nutrients.
That's interesting. It's interesting.
And so, I don't know if that's an absolute rule, but yes, I've seen tomato containers abundant with plants growing everywhere out of them. And hanging tomatoes are also possible. And when we were talking about tomatoes earlier, it's just that hanging a tomato plant often saves you trying to use tomato stakes to control the plant upwards. And so again, if you overcrowd the plant, you get smaller fruit and more disease. But if you can snip out some of the branches that are bunched in the middle, you get more air through. Yeah. So, and again, depends on conditions. I don't know what London's like to grow tomatoes.
you know, I haven't grown tomatoes, but certainly once upon a time I found my landlady in the back garden here. There's a collection of all of the blocks back gardens, and she grew there. She had her little farm out there for many, 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 many years. Okay, she's no longer with us, but she had this little farm, and she used to grow veg that was literally, she had marrows that were this big, and I'm absolutely not joking. I've got photographs of these extraordinary marrows. All right. And the soil, because it was an untreated, organic, recycled soil with a big composting area, and the soil is incredibly rich. And once upon a time, I grew some potato growths, and I put them in a window box, and they went wild.
Yeah.
Eventually, I could hardly see out the window. Okay, they just grew like crazy, and I had this one box with this incredibly rich soil that just gave me like 100 potatoes, and it was like this big because it was so rich. You know, that was quite extraordinary. So it was very much the soil quality there. You know,
and I might add that Duncan, you mentioned potting mix. I would describe them as uninformed friends. They were Cambodian Chinese here in Australia, and they wouldn't compost. I gave them a bin to compost their scraps and food, but they just never got round to it. They kept throwing the little aluminium trays for their special little dog food into it. And yet my friend would go to the big Bunnings hardware store and buy potting mix. Potting mix is meant for the initial growth stage. It's meant to be well drained, and it's not really about the nutrients. It's about getting the seeds going. And yet he had this obsession, and I think this word potting mix has been used in the West as though it's an ideal soil. It's a well drained starting soil, but it runs out of nutrients very quickly.
Very interesting.
And commercial potting mix is a mix of all the stuff that goes through the rubbish tip into, like it may be, and often when we say it's organic, there's no chemicals added, but it's often sterilized before you buy it. And it's like it's a real starter for the plant, but it has very little organic matter in it. Like biota or worms or bacteria, fungus, all of that stuff is missing. And when you mentioned organic food, organic soil that's come out of a garden, and if you can maintain that in a good state, in my opinion, if you just keep mulching on top, don't disturb what's underneath. This is my opinion. Don't dig mulch in. Don't try to just keep mulch on top.
Just add from the top. Just add from the top very simply in a safe way.
Don't disturb whatever's happy down there at the bottom doing its thing. Yeah. Straw, cardboard, shredded paper, all of these things, the soil must be kept a little cooler, then plants thrive. In fact, the planet, the forest, keeps the soil protected from the sun and cooler, and while it's doing its job in the canopy, photosynthesizing, the leaves are probably under great pressure from the sun, but they're doing their job there, and it's keeping us cool and the soil cooler below. Cooked soil is hard to grow things in.
It's really interesting. It's really interesting. So interesting. Thank you. I love it. It's so interesting.
Christina, I'm not sure where you are in the world.
I am in Brazil.
Brazil, okay. And then again, we find, similar climates. Look at, and it's surprising, and I know it's a great deal of homework, but there are indexes somewhere, statistics kept to show similar elevation, similar rainfall, similar climate. And if you're you may be in Kenya, but maybe in the mountains, very different to somewhere in the city, somewhere in the, near the lake, or whatever.
Yeah. I'm in the coast.
Yeah, on the coast. And Brazil is where permaculture started in Australia, and agroforestry started in Brazil, I think, is, I forget the German guy's name, German-sounding name in Brazil who started it. Yeah. So two of the big movements,
I'm initiating one in my farm, agroforestry.
Agroforestry,
And I have 3 connections now in Brazil.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
Good.
a friend Christina and also Claudia also introduced me to another person there in Brazil.
So yes, let's hope there's a focus on refugee camps, because yes, it's not this is, I don't mean this in any negative way, but it's the bottom end of self-sufficiency.
100%, Warwick, you said it. You said it.
Yeah.
This is precisely why I have a project that I'm working with. I don't know if you've seen it online in Kafafo. It's the latest video, which is precisely to do with that. We're doing a GoFundMe for the Nakivale refugee camp, one area there with Healing Health, Healing Hearts. And the reason for that is not just to raise the money, is that I want to find out what the unit required, the financial unit required for a safe startup, right? Because more support is needed. All right, there is just not enough support. Okay, there isn't enough support. There's vast need and not enough support. But I agree with you completely. If we can go where there is very little and create something which is secure and sustainable, then we can learn from that model. Okay, if we can do it there, we must be able to do it anywhere. And that's my personal thesis on this. Okay, yeah, I'll send you the link.
And I might add that Jeff Lawton, an Australian, he was a student of Bill Mollison, the founder. But there was another guy one of his students joined later. But Jeff Lawton was a student, and he really his video channel, the popular video is Greening the Desert, was in Jordan. It was literally a desert. And it was sent on a refugee project. In fact, his wife is a Palestinian refugee. I've met her in north of New South Wales. And so, there's this, the local Jordan Department of Agriculture didn't believe what Jeff was doing, and things started to come alive. And so this has been a long time.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I am 100% convinced that the people who are doing these practices right now are the teachers of the future. Okay, they are the teachers of the future. On the business end of climate change, they are the guardians of the future. There is no food without a soil that can work. It is the beginning and the end of the food chain.
And then you mentioned, I suppose, to mention my politics, you mentioned seed that didn't work. That's the other end of big business trying to actually control 100%. Our food.
100%. Yeah. And this is why this is such a critically important movement on all levels, locally, for the individual, nationally, and globally. It's critically important. So as far as I'm concerned, we invest right now in permanent earth solutions. We cut to the end game right now, and we go to the solution right now. Okay, because all of those man-made interventions, all right, they have short-term increased yield, but the end game of those is too dangerous. They're not worth that increased yield in the short term. They're not worth it. It's not worth it. The danger, the risk, the denuding, the desiccation, all those things are not worth it, says she.
Genetically modified GMOs GMOs or genetically modified organisms. Soya, what is it? Wheat. I don't think they've got into rice yet, but many things have been engineered by big business to grow vast crops and get the tonnage, and it all goes into junk food anyway.
I know. It all goes into junk food. Okay, it all goes into junk food. So this is why we've got to go for the pure earth solution right now. We head for the permanent earth solution now. And we invest in that in terms of time and energy now. We don't wait and go, well, this is this. We go now to where that is. And on that note, now, Warwick, what's a pleasure to hear from you. No, I'm not shutting you up. Believe me, we could talk for 9 days. Let's get real. We could just slam this out till next Thursday. Come on, let's face it. I pass the mic over to Dancan Stanely.
He's very quiet there.
You're muted, Mr. Stanley.
Okay.
You haven't learned how to.
I was listening to the how the older people are giving good ideas, and I'm really impressed with whatever I was listening. When people talk, you have to listen and capture the things they say.
But I'm not sure about Nicola, but we probably spend all this time on electronic media knowing what's wrong with the world, whereas you are the guys who are who landed with the idea, the responsibility of making it right.
No, we are all responsible for making it right. We are all working in all of our own capacities to do that. All right. Okay. We are all responsible. Every single human being is an agent of change. Okay. We all model change, all in our own capacity. Okay. And it's great when learning is focused on an individual as regards Duncan and so on, but we are all working. We are all working. Okay. Duncan.
Yeah.
Yes, I best.
No, Warwick, don't. All I'm trying to say is we can't downgrade our efforts. We have to go with a positive viewpoint that every action counts, every conversation counts, every single thing that counts towards a safe future planet counts. We cannot be defeated before we've even begun.
Well, in a way, I suppose I'm inspired that the two people who work in refugee camps have joined us tonight, two different people. And I was reading a book, The Scattered Stars. It's a children's book about a refugee who left a camp. I forget the name of the camp in Kenya and went to America, and he looks back at the conditions, but his hope. Yeah, and I just we feel guilty that, we live in such a wasteful society. Well, I do anyway, in the West. And
it's extraordinarily wasteful. But Warwick, we are working. We are working. We are working hard. Okay, we're not giving up. Okay, we're not giving up, and we are working. All right, we are. And in terms of Duncan's work, and again, this is not. I just want to, as Duncan's assistant. Yes, Duncan. All right, I would like to just repeat. I've just tagged you in the email in the thing for Healing Health, Healing Hearts for the refugee camp. As Duncan's assistant, I would like to repeat that Duncan's teaching offer will be put in a document format, in a workbook format as well for Duncan's travels, so that Duncan can reach areas of the world and Kenya and Uganda where there are no phones. Okay, so doesn't have to be YouTube. We're looking at every single way to get through to people in every way possible. Okay, every way.
And if you're, yes, I might mention again, Jeff Lawton, GEOFF, LAWTON, and he's done a series of going back to this place in Jordan. Yes, greening the desert.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
A project, yes, it was a funded project for him to go there and teach.
Duncan and I share my philosophy, which is an absolute, and that is that there is always a way. We just find it. Yeah, Christina. Lovely to see you, Christina.
Okay. Ciao.
Sorry, I really have to go. Now I'm going to teach. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Lovely to see you. Bye-bye. 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 There is always a way. That's the bottom line. There is always a way. We find the way. We find it. That's what we do. Duncan, I'm going to hand over to you.
Okay. Thank you so much for being in the class. I'm glad. Though I have not been feeling well, but I've managed to do the class. So I'm happy, and the next class will be out soon. So as soon as possible, we will be ending the classes, and we'll be doing the test, and from there we will be getting the certificate, and that is our deal. So thank you so much for joining. You are welcome next time. The people from the guy from Uganda and the guy from Kakuma in Kenya, please contact me so that I can get your contacts. It will be a pleasure to meet you in the WhatsApp group so that we can share ideas. Thank you so much.
Yes, be interesting to see what they get up to, as we say, how much they succeed or their efforts. Yeah, it'd be great.
Well, I know that from what I understand from Sunny and from Musa, you are already farming. So I think there are significant efforts that are already begun, and I think, you know, any as Duncan is doing, any efforts to kind of share any skills or methods that will improve those. That Musa and Sunny, I cannot speak for you, but my understanding is that you are already working in this area of growing.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. And my understanding, I don't know about your connection, Sunny, because you are muted right now, but my understanding is that you are already a permaculture educator in Nakivale, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I'm there, and I would like to learn more from you.
You need to learn more from Duncan. Duncan's your guy.
Yeah,
I'm Duncan.
Yeah.
I'm Duncan's digital assistant.
So yes, we can
sure.
learn from you, Sunny. Whatever you try, if we can see what you're up to, it'd be either inspiring, or maybe we can, you know, I don't know, support in some way, or, you know, we see what's happening. Suggestions.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to text Mr. Duncan so that he can also get my number, and we can talk more after this.
Perfect.
So we'll end the meeting. Together we can.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everybody, and just continue to invite other people. You know, the drill is that you can catch up wherever you need to on YouTube and the Dancan Stanely Farming YouTube channel with all of the downloadable handouts. A workbook is going to be coming on its way, a test, and so forth and so on, right? So that we stand together to serve a world of need. It's my honor to support Duncan and to learn from Duncan and to learn from you all. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.